my identity.
Ko Mauti Aroha tuku maunga, ko Wakato tuku awa. No Moransville aho. Ko Lekhnath tuku papa, ko Devi tuku mama, ko Rita tuku ingoa. No reira tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou katoa. This was a pipiha written by 10-year-old me. I must have been young and naive, because why did the 10-year-old me believe my pipiha had to be the same as that one girl next to me? Why was I born and raised in a country where the pigment of skin mattered and what I wore was unusual? It's not merely my mother's fault, who dressed me in overlaying mismatched clothes with the intentions of keeping her child warm. This apparently never fitted the regime. Why is one individual told that they must fit into a certain category with a labeling sticker that holds the identity? Can any one of you tell me why the 10-year-old me was never reminded that I followed the trace of an incredibly proud and strong immigrant family? My pipiha is meant to trace the lines of my ancestry, from the high trace Himalayas to the fertile rice fields below, tracing from the mountains of Nepal and Pahad to a small town in Aotearoa, Morrinsville. Culture holds one's identity. It grounds us to our roots and our ancestry. As a young brown wahine who was a second-generation immigrant in Aotearoa, I continue to struggle to find my identity in this perfect society. The expectations and pressure of instantly taking in control and aiding my parents has been instilled in my head for the longest time. Writing letters, emails, and even stepping into conversations when necessary was normal for me. This subject was never something I thought was different. Rather, as I developed a stronger sense of understanding of society, I recognized the difference in treatment my parents faced. My burning instinct to interrupt spoken dialogue when people on the other line of the phone make discriminative assumptions or comments regarding my parents' inability to understand. As a child of immigrant parents, my academic reasons to achieve so highly is so profound, where I acknowledge the opportunities such as education, communities, and support systems are provided in the palms of my hands. This was never something that my parents received. I made it my obligation and duty as a child to protect my parents, their innocence, their exposure and identity to the racial injustice, discrimination, and inequality that all first and second generation immigrants face. My story also highlights living in two different worlds, embracing the culture that runs through my blood while living and identifying within the New Zealand culture. As an adolescent, the pressure to choose my identity was high, either Nepali or Kiwi. In fear that my culture was inferior, I wanted to fit in with everyone else. I wanted to be in the same category as normal, which simply meant having no cultural identity. However, my brown complexion and mixture of South Asian structural features meant I was never considered as one of them. Idioma Yuindi summarizes this feeling in a simple sentence. So here you are, too foreign for home, too foreign for here. Never enough for both. The large growing population of international migration is rapid. According to Stats New Zealand, in January of 2024, the migrant arrival in Aotearoa reached 91%. This shows us the increasing population of immigrants. This implies it is expected to see many more second-generation immigrant children like myself. Unfortunately, this may mean that they have to experience the challenges of juggling diverse cultures, helping the parents like I do, and the need to fit and mold in. So, allow us, the second generation of immigrants, to grow and be accepted. Acknowledge that we might be both and that it is okay. My need to voice my story in hopes that one day this pressure is not merely a pressure, and that for all second generation children, it is all at ease. Ensure that you surround yourself with family who love and hold your cultural identity, and friends who amplify your beauty. So, for those who still don't know me, let me reintroduce myself to you. Now, the 17-year-old me can happily present to you that I am a young, brown, second-generation immigrant that has two different identities. And that these struggles have shaped me into me. That the complexion of my skin and that the styling I wore as a child was not unusual, but a simple, stubborn Nepalese mother showing her love for her child. Ko onapuna tuku maunga, ko wakato tuku awa, no Nepal aho. Ko Lekhnath tuku papa, ko Devi tuku mama, ko Rita Bhandari tuku inga. No reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou.